Now a science unit report on how new technology is changing how airplanes are built. Lee Hochberg of Oregon Public Television visited Boeing in Seattle.
There's no bigger celebration at an aerospace factory than the rollout of a new airplane, like Boeing's 777 a decade ago.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the future of flight.
So it was last month with Boeing's latest jet, the 787 Dreamliner. Except there was no airplane. It was a virtual rollout, symbolic of the virtual way the 787 is being built. Boeing designers and engineers have created the jetliner on computer screens, and they say they worked the bugs out there. Enough so, says process engineer Simon Cook, that they don't need actual wings and wheels.
They're not actually physically producing parts, and that's the important thing about this software, is we're doing it all prior to doing physical parts. We're building it before we build it.
Boeing has used animation to design planes before, but expensive problems cropped up in the assembly process anyway.
It wasn't until we practically had one of these in the factory and we were putting them together that you would actually say, hey, we've got a clash between this part won't fit, or the mechanic can't get in there to actually fit this part. It would be then that we would find this problem. When the parts are here, it's too late. We've got massive rework. It slows down the production rate. It has a dramatic effect on when we can provide our customers the planes.
But 787 chief engineer Tom Kogan says the latest generation of animation software has changed all of that.
You think about how we used to do it, and it feels archaic.
Kogan says 3D models produced by France's Dassault Systems enabled his engineers to see if parts will fit in the 787, or if workers can squeeze in to install them before those parts are even built. They found, for example, that a planned cargo door wouldn't be able to be installed properly, and that a rack for electronics wouldn't fit.
So you can see they've tipped the rack over, and they're moving it out of position, and there it is hitting structure.
Hitting those
top
beams.
Those top beams, right. It could have been very expensive because not only do you have to redesign the rack, but maybe you have to redesign some structure around it or redesign the tool, and it can get very expensive. You can lose days, maybe a week of time to go fix something like this, and we just don't have that kind of time.
Software manufacturer Dassault says such 3D simulation is the way of the future, and not only for airplanes. CEO Bernard Charlet.
You think about any physical product you touch every day, whether it's a phone, a car, a coffee machine, no matter what it is, the world of manufacturing now is becoming virtualized. It's really a revolution. It's really a big new playing field for the way the world can work on imaging.
This is where it all comes together, and it's not going to be like anything we've done before.
The excitement over the 787 goes beyond Boeing's flight hangar. 37 customers already have placed orders for 461 new planes, for a plane that won't even be completed until mid-2008. It's a big change for a company that had been struggling in its competition with Airbus. Airbus has now launched its A350 XWB to compete against the 787. But in an interview with the French newspaper Le Monde this fall, former Airbus chief executive Christian Striff said it will take us about 10 years to catch up with Boeing in terms of development and efficiency.